All right.
48-hour art check, round 93.
93. Can you believe it?
I cannot. I cannot believe it. And we still haven't planned anything cool for 100, so we gotta come up with something for that. All right, we're back.
Yes, we are back with a bang. And this will be a relatively short episode. I think Corey's got some relatives in town. I've got some work stuff. So we are literally doing this as a very quick art check just to kind of stay with the habit. So
Yeah, I almost canceled, and then I was like, I can do a fast one, an actual fast one. So
I respect the hell out of that. So let's get it going. So
all right.
what did you get done?
Not as much as I should have. I was able to get one more character done. And then I also, my dad and mom came up and delivered a lathe that a buddy from high school gave me. And so Scarlett and I have been doing a little wood turning. And
Nice.
so it's kind of cool. This isn't great wood turning wood, and we haven't finished it. We were just learning how to do it. My dad was teaching us. So that was really fun,
awesome.
but not related to the comic as much as just fun. So
Yeah, related to creativity though. So
yeah.
that's good. So you did get one step further. All right. So what I got done so far is I thumbnailed the next page for the 100 days of making comics, which means tonight's work is basically starting on rough pencils, and then this thing that you're seeing after the roughs is the second panel of quarterly stories, which I'm working on, and I'll be working on the third and knocking that out tonight as well. So I got a little bit of work ahead of me before I can crash and call it a night tonight.
Awesome. That's great.
Yeah.
Challenges, just time challenges for me. So beginning of the semester, a bunch of technical difficulties at work and stuff like that. And then having family in town, we watched a couple movies and we've been hanging out and it's been super fun. But just, I didn't have a ton of time to get a ton done, and I'm still sick. So I'm sleeping more than I would normally would. So just all that stuff. But I have a lathe now, which is both a challenge and progress, I think, because it's going to be really fun. So
there's a quick reward to that too, and I think woodworking something I did as a kid.
Yeah.
Little known fact people may not know about me is I used to be in Weeblos, which is it's like the worst version of Boy Scouts because nobody knows it. So it's like right between Eagle and Boy. I joined Weeblos and did a lot of woodworking and gun shooting.
We be loyal scouts, right?
Exactly. But yeah, it was this temporary point in my life, but I've never had a regret to having a little bit of experience with woodworking because it's good to know.
Yeah.
So
yeah, it's pretty cool. So how about challenges for you?
Just work stuff. It's getting crazy, chaotic, and busy at my job, and then just trying to kind of balance that with home life. Today I did a little bit of practicing with the band because it's Tuesday and we do rock and roll Tuesdays. Actually, it's Wednesday, so we ended up delaying it a day because we all are trying to kind of work it in, and very much like the 48-hour art check, just kind of trying to commit to something that it's hard to commit to, but you kind of decide and you do it. So that's basically the biggest challenges this week.
Yeah.
What are your plans for the next?
I've had 2 art checks in a row where I haven't met my goal, and so my plan is to meet those 2 goals. I just need to get this page roughed out so that I can get pencils started. But I'm completely moved into my office now. My mom and dad helped me hang up a bunch of gig posters that we framed. So we hung 18 pictures in my office, and they're all it's a big grid of gig posters and stuff. And so all the time suck things are out of the way. I'm going to get back into kind of getting the rough pencils on this page done. And once I do that, I think the rest of it will go pretty quickly because I don't need to do any more research on characters.
Yeah.
And that's one of the more time consuming things is as I'm designing these characters, I want to try to make them as authentic as the original ancient versions of them. So
yeah.
So I think the rest of it will go quicker, and it'll be good.
Yeah, and I think what I've noticed, and this is just something I've noticed in general with art, is a lot of that pre-planning stuff is the kind of thing a lot of people when they're new to art kind of skip
Right.
because they want to jump to the fun, and then they end up kind of biting themselves later because they end up with a mess. Sometimes happy accidents happen, and they end up with something decent, but they're frequently frustrated with the end product. And I can't reinforce enough how much the pre-planning and the pre-staging of this kind of thing
Yeah.
makes that later half completely enjoyable. Because when you have everything mapped out and kind of planned and worked out, when it gets to final execution, you end up with something you want. So it's
Right.
all, I think the parallel with like woodworking is pretty good because if you really pre-plan what you're doing, you're going to end up with something you like. If you just kind of mess around, you might end up with something that maybe works, maybe not. So
Yeah.
it really is one of those like slow and steady tends to win in that kind of scenario because you'll notice like as we do updates, as Cory's proceeding in this process, the early all the pre-planning, kind of like that crazy crowd scene, will I think pay off in the end. So yeah.
Yeah. Well, it's like my grandpa used to say, measure twice, cut once.
Mm-hmm.
And when it comes to inking pages, I have spent quite a few hours inking pages that didn't end up in the final book. So that's kind of the inverse of, what is it? Cut twice, measure once, or whatever. Anyway, cut twice,
Yeah.
don't measure at all. Cut three times, I don't know. Anyway, burn a bunch of wood that's really expensive. So yeah. How about you? What are your plans?
So my plans are very similar. Like I need to catch up on my 100 days today. I need to fulfill that and get that out of the way. So I think it'll be day 10. I hope I'm not jumping ahead. And then I also want to ink another panel of the next page of quarterly stories because I need to keep momentum going on that. And at the same time, like hopefully do it in an amount of time where I get some sleep. So
Yeah.
for those of you just catching into, Cory is like on the back end of being sick, so that's the coughs you hear.
Yeah.
But
Sorry.
but it's like no, it's part of the reality of doing the art check. It's like we try to show up, sickness or health or with family or not. So
Yeah.
I think it works. So cool, yeah, that's
Yeah.
our art check.
Yeah.
We did it. We did it quick.
My dad's sitting here. Wants to say hello.
Hello.
Hi, nice to meet you.
There we go. He's got his Bearcat football shirt on. He was a
Nice representing.
he was a coach. How many years did you coach?
31.
31 years he coached freshman basketball, which I think was the longest standing freshman basketball coach in California, right?
Could be.
Yeah. Which also means you're probably the most winningest.
I had a lot.
Yeah. So anyway,
I had a lot of losses too.
That's
Top
impressive.
37 years though. That was more.
yeah, you taught 37 years, right? So
That's impressive because we talk all the time about kind of the importance of like self-discipline and kind of showing up like and dedicating and kind of creating habits and stuff like that. And anytime we do that, we always end up falling to parallels, even though we're doing art to like, like working out or like getting in the gym.
right.
A lot of it's the same kind of mentality of just continually building positive habits where it doesn't become as much work. And I'm just thinking about like, and
Oh no, we lost Josh. Dang. All right. Well, we said we were going to wrap this one up, and so we've got to wrap this one up. But if you want to check out Josh's stuff, go to quarterlystories.com. If you want to check out my stuff, go to corykerr.com. This one will not be an episode of the podcast, but we do have quite a few new episodes of the podcast up. So if you want to listen to this on your phone, in your car, kind of wherever you listen to your podcast, you can just search for 48-hour art check. And make sure you're on Josh's channel right now, so make sure to subscribe, like, ring that bell, all that jazz, and we'll see you guys in a couple days.